2025 has already delivered some massive films, but the real heavy hitters are still coming. From Oscar hopefuls to sci-fi spectacles, here are my 5 most anticipated movies that I think could define the rest of the year. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, my name is Troy. Welcome back to the channel. And today I want to share my 5 most anticipated films for the rest of 2025. There have been some incredible films that have come out this year so far, like Sinners, The Long Walk, amongst other really great films. But I think there are 5, in my opinion, that are really going to define the rest of the year and are my most anticipated. So let's jump right into it. First is The Smashing Machine, coming out here in early October, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He is playing MMA fighter Mark Kerr and starring alongside Emily Blunt. Now, these two had really good chemistry in Jungle Cruise that came out a few years ago, so I'm excited to see them work together again in this capacity. But this movie is getting a lot of buzz, especially coming out of a recent film festival, as well as it got one of several long-standing ovations that happened. It got a lot of buzz coming out of the festival, specifically because of The Rock's performance. Now, this is the latest film from A24 that's coming out as well, but I'm really intrigued when this was first announced a little while ago and when the first trailer dropped too, because The Rock has not done a role like this, and this might be the one that best suits him for shifting into these more dramatic roles. The Smashing Machine is really giving me Iron Claw vibes, starring Zac Efron, that came out recently as well. A film that was just outside of the awards calendar in order to be considered for any Academy Awards or Screen Actors Guilds or any really awards because of when it was released, which was a shame because that movie was absolutely incredible. But I'm getting the same sort of energy and vibes from The Smashing Machine like that movie. I think the Iron Claw surprised a lot of us who saw that movie in a lot of ways because of the dramatic roles of Zac Efron and others in that cast, including Jeremy Allen White, and just the chops that they both delivered, and the rest of that cast too. And so I think this could surprise us too, as being an announcement of sorts that, hey, The Rock can do this. He can do roles like this. He's just not an action star guy who can do comedy as well, but that he can really perform and do well in these dramatic roles. And so I'm really interested in it. The story really seems to be gritty and emotional, and so I'm really looking forward to that, to seeing that push The Rock's abilities. I think Emily Blunt, she's fantastic. I think she's going to do very well as his partner. And so I'm really looking forward to this movie. I think it's one that could dominate awards season if it lands with audiences, and maybe even give The Rock his first Oscar nomination. Secondly is Tron Ares, coming out in mid-October, the latest continuation of the Tron franchise, starring Jared Leto, Evan Peters, and Greta Lee, among others. Now, this is a panel that I did see at San Diego Comic-Con in July, and I was really impressed in the footage that they shared at the panel as well. Really raised my hype level for this movie. Now, if I'm honest, Jared Leto is still the big question mark for me. As I've said in my trailer reaction on the channel down a little ways, that I'm not his biggest fan. A lot of his roles I just have not been a fan of. And so I don't know how that's going to come off in this role. Now, I think thankfully the cast is pretty large and it's pretty impressive as well. Again, Evan Peters, Greta Lee, and the great Jeff Bridges coming back for this role as well. And so I think that supporting cast and maybe him not having as big of a role as maybe I anticipated could make this film a little bit better. Or he could surprise me in a lot of ways and really nail this. I'd be willing to admit that as well. But this film has the same energy, I think, as the previous installment, Tron Legacy, that was really great. I loved that movie so much, that came out in 2010. The soundtrack was incredible by Daft Punk. I'm still disappointed that they're not back for this, but again, I think Nine Inch Nails is going to do a great job considering the tone and some of the music that they played in the trailer as well that just came out a couple months ago. But I think it shows promise that the visuals and the music is going to live up to Tron Legacy, and incorporating a storyline in which the grid comes into the real world is really, really interesting. Again, they showed some quick clips at San Diego Comic-Con that were really, really cool, some really cool chase scenes. And so again, I think this one could be a really good movie and be one that a lot of people are talking about heading into the winter months too. Next, a film that's coming out in November and might be my most anticipated, these aren't in any order, is Predator: Badlands. Again, another panel that I saw at San Diego Comic-Con. They showed the first 15 minutes of the movie and I was absolutely blown away. Dan Trachtenberg has this franchise in the palm of his hand and he's doing incredible work with it. He came out with Prey during the pandemic on Hulu. That was amazing. Killer of Killers, the animated film that came out earlier this year. If you have not seen that, pause this video, go see it, come back, because it's an amazing film. It's so good. I can't believe it's only 90 minutes. I would watch another 90 minutes of that movie because it was so good. But he is delivering so much energy and freshness to the Predator franchise, and I'm really excited to see what he's gonna do with Badlands. The first 15 minutes were absolutely stunning, even with some things not being finished visual effects. The fighting was awesome. It was so emotional, and it's gonna be a really emotional story, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this movie after seeing those first 15 minutes, after seeing Killer of Killers. I think this one, again, is my most anticipated thus far because of the energy that Trachtenberg is bringing back to this franchise. And I think it could be the best Predator film to date if they nail this. And also with the success of the new Alien show, could we see a crossover of sorts again if Badlands does very well too? Something to keep an eye on as well. But I think fans of Predator want brutal action in an emotional way, and I think Badlands is going to deliver on that front and more. And so I'm very excited to see this come in November. My next anticipated film is The Running Man, directed by the great Edgar Wright, starring Glenn Powell. Again, the trailer for this looks absolutely bananas. The premise of it being that contestants, it's a game show, contestants join the show, they join the game, where they have to survive 30 days with hitmen following them around trying to kill them, and if they survive, they win $1 billion. And meanwhile, the whole thing is completely televised, and he's just got people chasing from all directions. Again, the trailer looks absolutely so fun. The action looks really great. Glenn Powell is quickly becoming one of my favorite actors, and I think he's going to do really good in this movie. And so I'm excited for it because Edgar Wright really nails those high intensity, high driven moments. He does such a good job of those. I think about Baby Driver as well, which came out a few years ago. That was such a good movie. And so I'm excited to see what he does here with this premise, with this cast. And I think it's going to be a really fun movie, and I'm really looking forward to this one too. And finally, Wicked for Good. Wicked for Good. The first one, part one, last November, absolutely floored me. It blew me away. As someone who enjoyed the musical, I didn't think that they could produce something or make something that could top it, and it did. Cynthia, Erivo, Ariana Grande, John Chu, they absolutely delivered a masterful movie last November, and I'm so excited to see part two. I should have known that John Chu would have delivered something great because he did In the Heights, which was an amazing film that came out during COVID. Unfortunately, kind of got buried by that and didn't get the love that it deserved. Again, a highly recommended film on my part. Go watch that as well. But the first film was so stunning. The production design, the costumes, the singing. Again, Glinda, Elphaba, played by Cynthia, and Ariana were just so good, so good. And they deserved their Academy Award nominations. Maybe even a win too, if I'm honest, because of how great Cynthia was. But I'm really curious to see how part two goes, because I think part two, I think it's fair to say, is the least popular part of the musical. I think a lot of the bangers of the soundtrack are in the first part that came out last year, but there are some great songs, including the title track For Good, which is just gonna, I know, break me into a million pieces when it comes on. It nearly did during the trailer, just the downbeat of it. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that story ends and see maybe if there are some changes that they do to try to like heighten it up a little bit. I did hear that there are a couple of original songs written by the original composer that are added into part two of the film. And so I'm really excited to see how those flow too. And although the music might not be as popular in part two of the musical, I think that that's where the more heavier emotional moments are when Elphaba and Glinda kind of reconcile and, you know, finally leave each other for good because of Elphaba having to run. And then we also get Dorothy and the Cowardly Lion and those transition of those characters too, Tin Man, Scarecrow as well. And so it will finally get to see who's playing Dorothy too, which I know has been a big topic of conversation online of who's playing that role. And so very much looking forward to Wicked for Good. So I think each of these films, they highlight something different. There's Oscar drama, sci-fi spectacle, revitalized horror action, insane dystopian action with The Running Man, and then an emotional musical event. So a wide variety of things here, and why they're my top 5 most anticipated films. I'm curious to know what yours are. Let me know in the comments what your most anticipated films are for the remaining of 2025. I know there's some that I left off of my list, like Avatar, Fire and Ash. I think there's gonna be a lot of people who are really looking forward to that, just because James Cameron blows us away with the visual effects. But what else? What else is on your mind? What else are you looking forward to coming out this year? Let me know your thoughts below. If you like this video, guys, leave a like, subscribe for more content. Thanks for tuning in.